Every weekend, the rich kids lived carefree, luxurious lives, but Charlie, who came from a poor family, had to work every spare minute he had. The money he earned, along with his scholarship, was barely enough to make ends meet. One night, Charlie and his chubby friend were walking past the school field when they saw a few students tampering with a streetlight. Just then, a teacher came by, and the chubby kid managed to distract him just in time. The next day, the headmaster arrived at school and got splashed with paint the moment he stepped out of the car. He was furious. After launching an investigation, he called the two boys in and asked them to tell the truth. Charlie and the chubby kid had made a pact. They agreed never to betray their friends. The chubby kid firmly insisted he hadn't seen anything, so the headmaster turned to Charlie. All Charlie had to do was name the students involved, and he would be guaranteed admission to Harvard. But Charlie chose to stay silent. The headmaster warned him if he still refused to talk by Monday, he would be expelled. The next day, Charlie received a call from the chubby kid. He begged Charlie to stick to the story and say he hadn't seen anything. Frank overheard the call and sneered. He said the chubby kid came from a powerful family. He wouldn't face any consequences, but Charlie would end up taking the fall. If you don't want to get expelled, Frank told him, then go tell the headmaster the truth. But Charlie refused to be a snitch. Frank just smiled and said nothing more. Charlie returned to school for the full assembly. The chubby kid Saturday with his father. Charlie Saturday alone. The chubby kid claimed he hadn't seen clearly that day. The headmaster couldn't do anything to him, so he turned the pressure onto Charlie. At that moment, Frank suddenly appeared, and Saturday down beside Charlie. The headmaster continued pressing Charlie. He even announced Charlie's expulsion while giving George a public commendation. That's when the lieutenant colonel cut the headmaster off. He lashed out at George, calling him a coward who hid behind his father. He said that while Charlie had made the mistake of covering for others, he had stood by his principles in the face of pressure, and that showed the strength of a noble soul. Finally, Frank stood and said loudly,
"Now here's Charlie. He's come to the crossroad. He has chosen a path. It's the right path. It's a path made of principle."
The crowd erupted into thunderous applause. They announced that Charlie's punishment would be revoked. The entire school exploded with excitement. Frank's speech struck a chord because he fiercely criticized the values of selfishness and privilege. If so-called maturity meant learning to compromise and giving up on principles, then such a twisted set of values would one day harm everyone in society.